The Burrows of Berea is a conversational podcast. We study the Bible and we talk about it.
Not all of us are of the same faith, and one of us doesn't actually have a faith.
And that's wonderful. We all love one another, and we're going to continue to talk about these things.
The things we believe in and the things we believe about what we read in the Bible. Not all of these are necessarily true. Some of it is opinion and speculation. Thank you for
listening and speculating with us.
There you go. That was good. Yes.
You are listening to the Burrows of Berea.
Well, welcome back to the Burrows of Berea. I'm not going to do all of the introductions. I'm gonna do something a little fun today. Today is our birthday. Did you guys know that?
Yes.
Birthday.
3 years.
Today is Groundhog. We are in our third season as of today.
Happy birthday to you.
Hey, we can sing that without
Happy
paying.
birthday to you.
How about
Happy birthday, Stevie Wonder.
This is great. We don't even have to pay for that one.
That's
how
right.
about here's your birthday song? It's not very long. Hey.
Yeah.
Also, I will point out free.
So I thought I would go through the room today as the way that we grew. That's what I want to do, is based on time and the way that we grew. Okay. So Billy, you and I, man.
The OG.
The dynamic duo.
Billy called me up and he said, I am so full of hell. No, he didn't. Billy. No, yeah.
Then I called you an ass. And here we
I was
are.
like, oh, we're a donkey.
we're a donkey.
That's perfect.
Okay.
Yeah, we didn't have a name when we started, did we?
No.
Nope.
It's interesting to listen to the evolution of it.
Yeah, I had the thought of maybe putting at the beginning, like putting our intro, and I thought, nah.
Just leave
If
it.
people come to it and listen to the first episode, they're going to turn us off like, I don't care. But if they give us a chance, they'll get into it. They'll feel the progression, you know? We weren't polished like a turd.
In my files,
Still a turd.
the original couple episodes are labeled as Rick Talk. You know?
Welchianism.
Yeah, I mean, Billy and I
Great
just
job.
had a conversation and decided that we were going to do a Bible study together. And I said, well, let's record it, right? Because it's easier to remember. And we had fun doing those movie podcasts together.
Yeah.
I had a blast doing that with you. You're so funny. And
Oh my gosh. Can we do a movie podcast on that stupid movie coming out about come out
what is that?
in Jesus' name?
I haven't heard of it.
Oh my God.
Oh, I want to do a movie podcast, but I want to do it like those guys do on the science thing. Remember that? Where they're sitting down below?
Mystery Science
And we're making
3000.
comments about this movie.
It's what's that pastor's name? Anyway.
Just a point of order. If you do that, we can have the audio in the headphones, but not in the microphone. So you don't break copyright. So what you do is you tell people, all right, 3, 2, 1, hit
Play.
go.
Oh,
And then they
great.
can,
that would be
we
great.
can get that figured
That
out
would
if you
be
want
fun.
to.
Yeah, we'd have to build that ahead of time, but we could do it.
Yeah,
couldn't
yeah.
we?
Well,
We'd
we'd
have
have
to
to see the
figure out
movie
where our
first
TV
and
screen
then sit
was.
down
Yeah.
together and watch it. Like I have a big
Andy and I are real good at that.
I have a big screen the size of my garage door and the projector, so we can do that in anybody's house. And I have a PA system.
Greg Locke.
I have one on the side of this
Greg
building
Locke.
that's
Greg Locke.
about
Perfect.
13 feet.
You know him?
Yeah, that's what mine is.
Go watch the trailer.
So we go watch a movie and then we come back and we'll watch it all together and spoof.
Yeah, that's cool.
I didn't know y'all did that. That's pretty cool.
That's
Well,
fun.
Yeah, we
All
got so when we did that, we got together and we started it off and it just it was fun.
Yeah.
We just decided to
Yeah.
keep doing it. Can you believe it's been 2 years? We're going
No.
into our third?
That's crazy.
I know. I think I've had like COVID 3 times since. That's true.
I've only had it once, knock on wood. I need to get my third booster for the love of God. I just have not done it yet.
I have never tested positive for it.
Really?
Never? It's because she's never tested.
Once. I had to one time, and it was negative.
Yeah.
COVID survivor.
I'm a pureblood, baby.
Daywalker.
So guys, remind me who came first, Cherry or Ralph?
Ralph.
Very good. And Ralph, how did we get started? Like, what happened? Do you remember?
Like, we were talking about God one day when we were talking about different things. I don't know if we were
So we
talking
did
about
movies together.
Yeah, we did movies together. I think we were talking about a project you had coming up, and you were talking about something that you were writing. And then you said, hey, I'm doing this Bible study with a friend of mine, and we're kind of doing it podcast style. Do you want to do it? And I said, well, heck yeah, I do, because I was in limbo for a year after having left a church that I was serving and on staff with. And so it was just a perfect transition for me.
Yeah.
Yeah. He's a fantastic reader.
He is.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's got that.
He was our first. He was our first champion reader before Sarita showed up and dethroned him.
Yeah. this is true.
Oh man, Sarita! As soon as you get your studio at home, we'll get you reading at the top.
Speaking of which, I have my studio at home finished. So if you want to come over, it's a tight fit to get inside, and I'm putting an air conditioner in.
Are you propositioning me?
To read.
It's a solo.
To read.
It's a solo room.
Oh, gotcha.
Remind me to tell you and Rick and anybody that might do stuff at home about this dog clicker thing I saw online. It's brilliant.
Okay.
It's not interesting enough to do here.
Oh,
Dog clicker?
so
I even have an on-air sign.
how about you, Cherry? Do you remember how you got started on this?
Yes.
All right, tell me how.
Well,
Yes.
we have birthdays that are within days of each other. So we were texting each other back and forth, happy birthday. And then we got to talking. You said you were doing a podcast, and I was in Myrtle Beach. And you said, hey, you want to listen to it? So I listened to it all the way back. And it was
that's when Rodney fell
awesome.
asleep.
Yeah, Rodney slept the whole way. Which,
And he was driving.
no. No, he sleeps at anything. He's like an old guy. But
Why are you looking at me when you say that?
Kind of looks like Ralph.
no.
No.
So then you asked me if I wanted to come sit in.
I thought we wanted your testimony first.
No,
Did-
y'all weren't doing the
We
testimony.
didn't do testimonies
Oh,
yet.
okay.
So I've never
My
given
bad.
mine.
Okay.
Oh,
Yeah, I
You
didn't do my
haven't?
testimony for several.
Do you want to
months
do that one
after
time?
I joined.
I'll think about it.
See? Wow. I didn't.
Have you give yours?
Yeah, kind of. Yeah.
We've all kind of given ours
Yeah.
a little bit here and
Yeah.
there.
I guess
Yeah.
Rodney was our first one, right? Was Rodney?
Rodney was the first
yeah.
testimony.
Okay.
Yeah, it
okay.
was.
To be perfectly honest with you, the only thing I know about Cherry is that she got drunk and laid on a mattress in the woods. Yep. That's her testimony.
That was.
That is not my testimony. That's horrible.
That was like,
To be fair, I've also done that.
She wasn't drunk. She was,
Jerry's one of the team, I guess.
I wasn't drunk,
That
actually.
was Cherry's Groundhog Day.
I was sick on nicotine.
That's
from
right.
Skull Bandit
Yeah.
pack.
she was
Yeah.
damping.
Yeah.
Ew.
Not supposed to
Oh,
swallow.
nothing
You're
is
supposed to
worse
Got that
spit.
snuff.
Yeah, buddy.
Stomach sickness that comes
That'll
with
get
tobacco
you.
is the
It's
worst.
awful. It really
Yes.
It's pretty rough. I'd rather been drunk on the mattress.
I
that
think
was
we've
bad.
all been
Copenhagen.
sick off of that. Man.
And then, okay, so then Sarita would have came in, right? So that was around May of this year.
Last year.
Did you
This
come
year's
in?
2023.
Was Tiziana before you?
No.
No, you guys
No,
were
no,
very
Sarita's first, yeah.
Sarita, yeah.
Because
We
I
were
heard her
close.
testimony. That was one of the first times that I felt like I wanted to, that I was like touched by the show. Yeah. It was really.
Man, it took that long. That's awesome.
No, I had only just found it.
I know, no, it's
Like
okay.
I had only just found the show, and her episode was in like one of the first 2 or 3 that I listened to.
Yeah.
No disrespect because I've been a part of all of them, but I do think that's kind of a interesting turning point in the show. Yeah.
It's the number 1 listened to episode on our podcast.
No kidding.
It is. I told you guys
Sarita's
that.
still in the lead after all this time. High five, girl.
She's still in the lead over all of the other people.
You just wait till you see who we got lined up this year. It will be down at the bottom at some point because
I don't know. I think that I mean, abortion is a serious issue and a lot of people
Yeah.
deal with it. And since
It's
you've been
hard.
through it,
Man.
I think that maybe people are pointing back to it. I don't know what's going on, but people are talking about it, right? So you came on and
I did, and you had said, "Hey, we're going to do Esther afterwards, so you can stay and listen or participate or whatever." And I said, "Okay," and
I
I,
remember
did.
that because you
and
were like excited about it.
I was because I love Esther. I love teaching Esther. I love
I remember
Ruth.
that.
That's one of my. Those are some of my favorite things to teach on, and women in the Bible. It's pretty cool.
Oh, I'm sorry to cut you off, but that reminds me because I forget things. I have a National Geographic's Women of the Bible thing that I've been meaning to bring you. So send me a text message. I'll bring it.
Awesome. So yeah, and you invited me to come back for the Esther studies, and I just kind of stuck around. You
and then,
just
well,
can't
we
get rid
asked
of.
you to
I'm
be
like a bad
full-time
penny. You
member,
can't get
right?
rid of me.
That's
Yeah.
right.
I'm kidding.
just-
Got another unveiling, folks.
I just out full preterists when I don't mean to. I don't know what I'm doing.
You do.
And
You
I
suck 'em
really,
right out.
so I really wish that now that I kind of have done some research, I was kind of coming in blind. I had never heard of preterism. I knew what the preterite of a sentence was, but I had never heard of preterism.
See, I don't know what that is either.
Yeah, I don't know what a preteritive sentence is. We
Past
talked about this
tense.
before.
Subject and preterite. It's a verb tense. I'm sorry,
Yeah.
it's a preterite. But if you ever took Spanish,
No,
or
I took
French.
Ich spreche Deutsch.
They speak nothing. Anyway, sehr gut.
Sehr gut.
They speak backwards.
They're so weird. I
They
felt
talk. They
German
talk
was
like
the
the
worst.
little green guy on Star Wars. Whatever.
So,
Yoda. That's how if you
I wish
start
now
the
I could go
sentence-
back though and to some of those interviews that we've had with Gary DeMar and
Don Preston and
yes,
Mike Sullivan.
Yeah, Mike Sullivan. Having done more research,
Yeah.
What's that like?
and kind of figuring out where I am.
She's got her toes in the water.
Oh no, I'm no. I've actually done some research, but I would like to sit down and ask more intelligent questions. I think than I asked at the time, or didn't say anything, or didn't push back a little bit more with some of them with my beliefs. And so now I would like to go back and say, hey, have a sit down with Gary DeMar and talk about it, because he's so smart and he's so brilliant.
Well, and this is his job. Like
Yeah.
we do this
As a
we do
hobby?
we do this once a week, and
He's
we've
every
been
day,
very
right?
fortunate with it. But he does it at home, and then he goes other places and does it, and goes other places. I mean, that's
years.
he's a pro.
Yeah.
He's good.
Yeah,
That's
40
what he
years.
does.
For sure.
He's got 40
By the
years
way,
on us.
he and Ken Gentry are having a little go at it on Facebook. So
Yeah, and they've been doing that for about probably 6 or 7. Well, really, since Ken Gentry started writing his 2-volume set on Revelation, which everybody else has but me. I can't get it. Everybody. It's like he hasn't
You're on
released
a
it yet.
list.
Only the people on the inside get it. I don't know.
are we ever going to get him on here?
I've invited him several times. He's talked back to me, and he said, "Not right now. He's busy. He wants to get that book released, and then maybe." We'll see. I think he's just trying to see where we're going to land.
He just doesn't want Sarita to out him.
Yeah, he is.
He's not.
He's not a full preterist at all. He's definitely a partial pret. So then after Sarita came Tiziana, right?
Yeah.
With the baby.
Yeah.
And that was an
Pregnant as
Andy
a-
thing, right? Andy, you invited Tiziana.
Well, I suggested it because I was like, I know this girl who likes to talk and can talk. Well, I mean, that's not a small thing, being able to just like
Yeah, to really be able to talk.
carry like that, not just to have interesting and valuable input, which everybody literally has. I'm not saying that to be nice, but to be able to like carry a conversation by yourself for a while in a way that remains interesting. It's hard as hell to do. And I was like, I know this girl that knows how to talk, and she's also in school for divinity.
Yeah.
So it's just like a natural fit.
And it just so happened we already knew each other.
Yes.
And we have a whole bunch of other little community folks that know each other.
Yeah.
And I remember when you first invited me to come in, I was supposed to come in because we were going to talk about hell in the Bible.
Yep.
And that was like the first thing that we were
It was a
discussing.
revisit because that was the second episode that Billy and I did with Andy.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But
it was
I
a
had
fun-
done
I like-
some more research and was really sort of leaning towards annihilationalism, and I wanted to talk to you about it.
So I had done some research and I wasn't really sure what to expect. And I came in and we just started chatting. And that's when you were like,
It
no, you
became
know
a
what?
testimony.
Let's just do a testimony series instead, because you had just started that series.
Mm-hmm.
And so then it was a testimony series instead. And then I remember you were talking about the Esther series, that you were going to do a study of Esther. And I was like so bummed that I couldn't be a part of that.
Oh, and we
and
didn't
we
record. We missed her do the Esther brief.
Tiziana, Tiziana
Andy
did
had
this like
never-
Esther in 20 minutes thing. That was
Actually,
it was in,
like,
amazing,
5
but we
minutes.
just
Yeah.
didn't get it on.
Yeah, because Andy was like, didn't know what Esther was. So I was like, oh my gosh. So once upon a time, there's this
Yeah,
king, and
yeah.
his name's Xerxes, and he's got this wife, and they're having this huge party, and she's just checking in with all the ladies, and he's still with all the Jews, and everybody gets really drunk. And yeah,
It's like the Jack Black thing with the best song ever written, or what's that?
The
yeah.
tribute.
Yeah, it's a tribute to the best song ever. So you guys
She
will
busted
never
it out
hear
in, like,
because-
3
you'll never
minutes.
hear it. Yeah, because I was just quickly explaining it to him, and then
The VeggieTales version is really good.
Oh, I love VeggieTales. It is really good. So I was bummed that I couldn't be a part of that because at the time I was pregnant. You know,
Giving
I
birth.
had gout. Yeah,
Little
I was in
things.
school.
Little thing.
Yeah, just
Can't hit the
managing a
pause button
2-year-old
on
at the
that.
same time.
Yeah.
My kid had just gotten diagnosed with developmental delay, so I was like had the process of starting to do physical therapy with her. There was just she's okay, but like it was this whole. I just had so much on my plate, I couldn't be a part of it. But so that's when I started just like listening eagerly, being like, man, I would love to be a part of something like this. Because again, at the time, I was a master's divinity student, with no outlet but my infant daughter who didn't give a crap.
Yeah.
Let me just tell you how not interested in what I have to say she is.
Yeah, but she didn't fight you on it.
That doesn't get any better as you get
right,
older.
yeah.
So.
It's not like she's going to grow into it. But this was like, and this must have been actually before I was pregnant with Jubilee. This
Oh,
is
yeah.
when I just had
Yep.
Aurora. And Aurora had just gotten the voucher for school. so that she could go to daycare because of her developmental delay. So I just like had some time,
Yeah.
you know. But yeah,
You
that's how it
announced
got
your
started.
pregnancy on this show.
I announced my
Yes.
pregnancy on this show, yeah,
You
and my
did.
marriage. I and your
and your
I just
marriage.
And your marriage,
deed
and your
out of
birth.
here.
That's how I found out about the marriage. I remember that.
Yeah.
Dylan and I did the deed and got hitched.
Yeah.
Made it right. Made it right in the
Made
eyes
you,
of the Lord.
made you an honest woman.
Yeah. Well, I actually wouldn't go that far.
Oh, that's true.
But yeah, that's how I got here.
Yeah.
But I haven't heard you mention how Andy got involved. I mean, I know that Andy's been on all the podcasts and stuff,
Yeah.
but you didn't.
I mean,
you
honestly,
went around
we
the room.
just when we the day we started recording, I just asked him because I didn't know. Honestly, I mean, I've known Andy, but I really didn't know. Like, we never really talked about it before, even though I had done stuff.
Yeah.
we never really had a conversation. So I asked you. I was like, "What are you
feel
exactly?"
I feel like you knew. Maybe not. Maybe
I
you
didn't
just
know to
assumed
what. I
people
didn't know if you were like an agnostic or an
Yeah.
atheist. Or I knew that you weren't a Christian believer, but what were you exactly?
Right.
You know.
Right. Yeah.
And so you were a bass player.
Is that what you said?
No.
It was
That would have been a great
he was
answer, though.
he was our recording guy in the movie.
Yeah, he did. I mean, he always worked with me on my stuff, you
Yeah.
know?
Rick
Which is how I
recorded
knew you
this
guys.
one song a while ago and abandoned it. That was a really cool song. You should finish it someday.
You think so?
I'd have to go back and listen. It's been a long time, but I feel like I liked it.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. I think I wrote that. That's the song that I wrote to Holly, I think.
Was it?
Yeah. That's what I started with. Yeah.
I want to listen to it now. That sounds.
Oh yeah, we have to
Yeah.
finish this.
He's
I'll come play the 12 string for you.
a man of many stripes. He's also a decent musician. He's
Interesting. What do you
Wow.
play? I didn't know
I
that.
didn't know
Piano.
that.
Piano.
piano.
And guitar, don't you?
Yeah. I play
Get
I strum the guitar. Yeah. I
Yeah.
strum. I'm a rhythmer, you know?
Yeah.
Got some Garth Brooks, huh?
Yeah.
Hey, I play
Yeah.
chords.
My son took one piano lesson last week
That's the right amount.
over the weekend.
Yeah.
I was upstairs. I was like, where's that piano music coming from? We have a keyboard upstairs. He's playing the whole Lean On Me song. I was like, where did you learn that?
Damn.
He said, from my piano lesson last week. I was
What?
like,
Wow.
uh,
Wow. That good on him.
Bum, bum,
well, he can
bum,
play the
bum.
guitar, and he was up there. I was
Bum,
like,
bum,
that's
bum,
lean.
bum.
That's Lean On Me.
Yeah.
Who taught somebody how? That was crazy. So
Well, so then after Tiziana comes Rick Carter. So that's a funny story. You guys, if you've listened to the podcast, you guys
Yeah.
know how this happened. But how did you find out about us, Rick?
I happened to be listening to David Curtis,
Yeah.
and when I was listening to him, he mentioned that you guys were coming up there or getting together to do his testimony.
Ah.
And so when I listened to that part, I'm like, I maybe need to check this thing out. Because, if David Curtis is going to get involved, maybe there's something to it. So then when I started, I just started eating up every episode I could get into.
Yeah.
And
And-
some of my favorite ones are yours.
Oh,
Yours.
Notes from the
Tiziana's.
Underground.
Yeah, just anyone that you're involved in, because I love listening to your perspective
Nice.
on some of the stuff.
Yeah.
That's cool. Thanks.
I remember, I think
Because
there was something that I said on Facebook.
yes, that's how we got connected initially. I found out because of the podcast, because of David Curtis. Then you were somehow in the group of on Facebook. You were in
Yeah.
a group that I didn't even know you were a part of, and you made a comment to somebody that did a testimony on here, Mr. Bill Evans,
Yeah.
and you made a comment. So, and because I know the climate in that room sometimes can be argumentative, I decided to send you a personal
Oh, that's when I
message.
said, be gentle.
Yes.
I responded and I was like,
So, like-
I'm going to regret doing this. And I made a response and I was like, so be gentle because here they come. The full preterists, man, they will stab you in the face.
Oh, yes.
Not in your back,
Yes, they will.
straight in your face, you know?
with a rusty knife.
With a rusty knife. Yeah, they're tough, you know?
So I commented, I sent you a DM with a kind of response.
Yeah.
And from there on, it just, I kind of went fanboy a little bit.
Yeah.
And
Well,
then-
you really gave us that really nice message, and I came in and read it to you guys, and
Yeah.
they
Serena
thought it
didn't
was
believe it
sus. She
existed.
said that's
I
so
didn't believe
sus.
you.
I didn't even know what
She
sus
still does
was.
it, really.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm so out of the loop,
Serena's
guys.
got
Yeah.
kids. She's got a finger on the
Yeah,
pulse.
yeah.
listen, I just posted something on my Facebook page. The Holderness family of you, it's a they do comedy, and they went through all of the kids' lingo for today.
Yeah.
It's hysterical. And then at the end, he had his kids critique him on the use of the lingo. and
Yeah.
that was funnier than the actual
Will
video.
you send me that link? I want
I'll-
to learn
I'll-
some lingo and
Yeah.
laugh
I will
about it.
I will tag you in it on the Facebook
On the
on the
Facebooks.
MySpace page.
Well, I don't-
My MySpace.
I don't do
No, my
Facebook,
face.
so just you'll have to
Face.
text it to
I'll
us.
text it to you.
Yeah.
That's their social media. So I don't.
Well, I have a Facebook account. I just
That's only,
don't
if
look
it's
at it
public,
unless somebody
you should,
sends me a
and
link.
It's public, so.
Yeah. Well, if you don't mind, send us a link. We should make a group for ourselves so we could just like share stuff on there.
So
That's
or
a good
not.
idea.
Oh, yeah, or not.
and on the Snapgrams.
on the
On
Snapgram,
this,
Yeah.
I don't have that.
I don't have the Snapgrams.
Yeah.
I don't know how to use those things yet.
I spend more time on
Snapchat or
Instagram.
Instagram?
I'm making
I'm
a joke. I
confused.
spend all of
Snapchat.
it, but I spend more time on Instagram than I do on Facebook, just because there's just
More
a little,
pictures.
a little picture and a cute little chit chat about what's going on. There's nobody's yelling at anybody
Little
on
GIF.
Instagram.
Oh, that's true.
Yeah.
The kids
Or
like
GIF.
Snapchat because it self-deletes.
Yep.
And if
Yeah.
you take a screenshot of it, it tells the other person.
And it doesn't self-delete.
That's the thing about.
Yeah, you can find it somewhere.
I don't do. I used to
That's
do
the thing
Snapchat,
about
but I'm
Snapchat.
like, you know
It-
what?
Yeah.
It does.
There's
I-
just
no,
so
it's-
You can't go
many.
back to it.
I logged into my daughter's account.
Oh, you can choose to
and,
keep them.
and then I
She
said,
made a
send me
mistake.
everything.
She made
and
a
they
mistake.
emailed
She
it
made a
and
mistake.
sent everything.
That's
I
a
have it
horrible
all.
idea. That's
So-
a horrible idea.
I want to throw back to the last episode we did that will be coming out, but and he did the Bobby McFerrin part
Yeah.
of the song, the Bobby McFerrin "Don't Worry, Be Happy." There was a guy. This is not a joke. He died. He said, and he was noticeably dead for a long time, for a longish time to be dead if you're a human and still come back to life. But he came
Lazarus?
back to life. No, his name was not Lazarus, but
4 days.
You know,
7 to 10 minutes,
statistically,
probably.
Any amount
He
of
said he
time
went-
being dead
he
Yes.
said he
Dead,
went to
yeah.
is
hell.
pretty long.
And in hell,
yes.
did you hear this?
I heard it, but I didn't read it. Okay.
Hell, there were all kinds of things. He saw all kinds of things. He said, but the two underlying themes that he found was Rihanna's umbrella.
Yep.
Oh, yes,
Umbrella,
I did hear
umbrella,
that too.
umbrella, Ella, Ella, Ella.
Yes.
And Bobby McFerrin's Don't Worry, Be
That's
Happy
right.
was being
Yes,
played by the
that's right.
demons to torture people on an endless loop. Those two songs on an endless loop. I was like, we lived through hell if you went through those songs.
He wasn't dead. He
Yeah,
was high on shrooms.
Yeah. And she's doing the halftime show.
That's true. She is.
Yeah.
And I will probably watch it.
I will too.
I will definitely. I 100% want to. But they say that that's a form of torture. That they would play Justin Bieber's "Baby, Baby, Baby" and
Yeah.
Abu Ghraib all the time. They would play it all night long. Baby, baby, baby. Oh, yeah. But they would play it on like with lights on, so you could never sleep. You know what
part
I mean?
of that is like forcing them to
They're
be
like,
awake.
please
Yeah.
bring the German Shepherd back.
Yeah. I'm gonna tell you what. Like all the times
Turn
that
the
I've
heat
tried to
up.
fall asleep at night and had like some nonsense song from my kids. She watches this TV show called Bubble Guppies, and they're all like, and the big fish, when it's time to get the kids to go outside, is like, outside, everybody outside. Line up, everybody line up, Bubble Guppies, woo! And I will like
They literally are outside all the
lay
time.
there. They're in the water. I don't know why. This like I will lay there at night at like midnight after I've nursed my infant, and I'm like, shut up. 'Cause I just keep hearing it over and over and over. So
It's like
yeah,
waterboarding.
It is torture.
Yeah.
It is torture.
And it's not a sport. George Bush was like, yeah, they're having fun over there in Iraq doing that waterboarding.
No,
It's
sir.
like, I don't think that's a sport.
no.
So one last question to wrap this one up, guys. I just, on our birthday anniversary episode, if you guys are willing, I'd like to know what the show's done for you. Like, we're all here, like, I know why I'm here. How about you, Billy? Like, it's been 2 years. Have you learned anything? Like, what do you
I've
think of the
learned a
show?
lot. Well, I like the people. I look at you guys as my family now. Sarita, Cherry,
Aw.
all you guys. You guys are. I love all of you.
Picked out the two
Not you,
hotties.
Charles.
He picked literally the two hotties in the room.
Yeah.
me.
So,
I think
Thanks,
the hot
Rick.
mess.
I think of all of you.
Wow. So,
Slams the mama.
Damn, that was ice cold, Rick. I'm just kidding.
I'm so sorry.
yeah.
Two of
Get
I was
out.
just pointing out. He was like,
Umbrella. So,
"Hey, is anybody going to do waterboarding?"
I'm first.
Yeah, he picked out the two girls first. That's what I meant. Sorry.
Again, I do identify as a cis female. I don't know if you know this or not.
You do?
My repeated conversations about children and a husband might have clued you in. I am also
Well, can
a
I
female.
just say that Andy is also a girl? He said he does not care.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, that
Yeah,
was
whatever.
funny. You were like,
I'm not picky.
it's
I'm not picky.
2023. I'm not picky.
Sorry about that, Billy. Took you off on a roll there. So you
Well,
think of
no.
us as family?
yes, absolutely. I love this journey. So
Yeah.
it's great. I've missed 2 shows, and I hate it. One of them was Sarita's testimony, but I've listened to it a couple times.
You weren't here. I do remember. That's very sad.
Yep.
I was like,
That
who's
was-
the eye candy? I'm
Who's
missing
the
the
eye
eye
candy?
candy.
Yeah,
That's right.
That's
Yeah.
why I'm here.
Yeah.
But,
It's funny because I actually, through other people, I have known, like, I know you, but
Yeah.
I didn't know I know you.
oh, okay, that's scary. It's very scary. It's very scary.
I think it's the XY.
I think it's the Spartanburg.
Yeah.
But anyway, but no, I've read the Bible more. I enjoy it. I want to keep going. I
Yeah.
like to listen and learn and try to prove you wrong. And
Oh,
Yeah.
that's always fun.
yeah,
I mean, I think that's the beauty of it, right?
yeah, absolutely. And
Like-
we're and we may agree or disagree, but it's great. I love
Yeah.
it. Yeah,
That's good. I know you like dilly beans at Christmas.
yeah.
Yes.
Oh yeah,
Pickle beans, but
yeah. Pickled beans,
Dilly
she
beans.
called them dilly beans.
dilly.
I grew up calling them dilly beans.
Yeah, Andy. I mean, obviously, I know that it's a job, but you've become more of a thing in here. You know what's it for you?
It's really just fun.
Yeah,
It's fun.
it's fun work.
Oh, I enjoy it. Well, I mean, my work is often, but not always fun. Let's be straight. Any job is a job. And sometimes you just want to huck people into the sun. But, but no, I enjoy this. I enjoy it very much. You know, the editing is a little droll. Don't get me wrong, but that's just the nature of the beast. But the recording the episodes is fun, and I look forward to it.
Yeah.
And I learn too, even though it's not. You know what I mean? It's different for me, but obviously, but it's still world history / a thing that influences basically in subtle or great ways every moment of every day if you live in a Western or Christian country.
Yeah,
So, yeah, why not? You might as well know. You know, it doesn't hurt you. It's interesting, but mostly it's fun. I'm not going to lie. That's what I
that's
like
good.
about it.
Yeah, that's good. I didn't expect you to start weeping or anything.
No,
You know,
that's later.
He's like, Cherry.
That's when the check bounces.
How about you?
I enjoy coming together and just hanging out together and talking. But I'm with Andy as far as like the ability to be able to go further than just reading the scripture, like learning about the culture and the timing, and like it's more than just, you know, if you go to church, you know, you read the scripture, you go home, you read on your own, but being able to see the different views and being able to learn those views and being able to broaden my own knowledge of just the people then, and understanding it more than I ever would have probably before without being able to be here and hearing it and participating in it.
Yeah, I see that too. What about you, Ralph?
Gosh, there's so many things that I like about it. One is you keep me on my toes. So I always have to read, and then I have to think when I'm reading. And before I would read to study, but not like I do now. I read to think, okay, I always believed, because I used to watch a guy in California and then his wife afterwards, and they would talk about the real words and the real meaning and the people that were there. And so I always believed that. And then coming here, and we actually talk about that a lot, saying, hey, you know, this happened then, and how do we understand it then? So I'm taking a different understanding to my studying, and I'm with Billy. I'm always trying to find something to catch you on. It's fun because you remind me of my youngest daughter. Sometimes you find something and you get so excited about it.
Girl.
You go down the wormhole so fast. Sometimes I'm like, hey, what about this? What about this? What about this? What about this? So it's been fun the whole time, and then everybody in here is just great people. So
Yeah,
I mean, even Andy.
even Andy. How about you, Sarita?
Well, it's made me start thinking about what eschatology I really believed. Because, like I said, I'd never heard of preterism, so I did some studying. I do not believe the way I believed coming in, so I've changed the way I believe about eschatology. After doing some research, listening to David Curtis, listening to some of listen to all of the Mount Olivet discourse y'all did, and then listening to some other Bible teachers, I just kind of looked up what are the main eschatological teachings.
Yeah,
And I started reading, and it's just changed sort of, even in my house, I believe differently, I think. And it's very interesting. And today I went into my husband's office and I threw out a verse to him. I said, read this verse, digest it, and tell me what do you think it means to you. And so, like, I'm challenging him on his, I was a left behind kind of gal.
Yeah.
Because that's all I was ever
I think
taught.
all of us were.
So I'm not. I'm actually a little further into it, but all that to say is it's changed.
You mean that you were no longer a left behind girl?
I am no longer a left behind girl.
Told you she had her toes in
You
the
heard
water.
it here
I
first,
am not a
folks.
preterist.
No,
I'm
no,
actually going the other way.
Got her toes
What is
in
the other way
What
mean?
mean the other way?
I am a seventh trumpet rapture kind of gal.
I don't even know what that is. You were going to have to bring that in and tell me what that is.
you could do a thing.
Okay.
Do a thing. Let's hear it.
Anyway, so all that to say is it made me study the Bible, listening to it, thinking about the way y'all believe, looking at some people like Sam Frost, who is post-millennial, which I didn't. I had to look. I had to Google what these words meant. I'm like, I know what millennial means. I know what post means. I know who Post Malone is, but they aren't the same. So
I'm a post-millennial.
post-millennial. But all that to say is, it challenged my thinking. Okay, so I read those books. I thought they were very interesting, the Left Behind series. But it doesn't make sense. You're right. It doesn't make sense. So trying to figure out where I am, and so that's challenged me. Listening to Tiziana's stories or her notes from the underground, because we don't believe the same. She and I don't. But it's in this world where we can very rarely ever have a civil conversation because you don't believe the way I do, so you're wrong, and I'm going to, what'd you say, stab somebody in the face with a rusty knife?
With a rusty knife.
So we can't have any sort of discourse, but we can do it in here, and we can have a civil discourse and call somebody out for being wrong, or, hey, maybe I was wrong in the way I think. So, but do it civilly. Do it in a way that we can have a discussion with one another. And I think for the world, if we want to go very philosophical, for the world, it is an example of, we have how many people? 8 people in this room right now, or 7 people plus Andy. That's 8. Am I doing 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7?
Yes, Andy's
Andy's
laughing
somewhere
in the
with
back.
Andy.
And even Andy.
I love that 7 people and Andy.
7.5.
Not only is there no offense taken, it's sort of a compliment.
But we can come from all different backgrounds. We can believe different things about how the world is going to end or not end or whatever. We can maybe believe different things about what's going on in our current culture, but we can do it civilly. And it should be an inspiration to anybody who's listening that it can be done. We don't have to just backbite all the time, and just take a moment, pause. I don't agree with you sometimes. You don't agree with me sometimes, but we can speak to one another. We, like Cherry says in the intro, we love one another, and we're going to continue to talk about these things, all these things that make us so different from one another. So that has been what has been great. Like, because you can get so mired down in the social media and people just being ugly and
Bullying
hurtful and
and-
bullying each other.
It's so much easier to have a decent conversation face to face.
It
Yeah.
is.
So much
You would
easier.
not say some of these things to someone's face that that people say to each other on social media. It's
Oh,
disgusting
it's-
and awful. Like you said, be gentle. I had to say, be gentle,
Yeah.
because people can be so ugly, and so
And what kind of witness is that?
it's not.
What kind of Christian witness is
It
that?
is not
really?
a
It's
good one
not.
at all.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, we're all headed to the same finish line, but
Yeah.
we're just doing it differently. Some of us might be doing it in our Under Armour tights and doing it by how we're supposed to be running a race, and the other ones being our Crocs, eating a hot dog. But we're all, we're all
Pushing
going
hot
to,
dog
yeah,
down the
yeah, we're all
Yeah.
going to the same
Eye
finish
candy
line.
philosophy,
yeah,
folks.
exactly.
We're all running that race different.
Yeah, exactly. I'll
But
get
we're all
there.
running it.
I'm
We're all
gonna
running it.
see
Yeah.
you there. I'm gonna see you there.
Some of us are walking it.
Yeah,
but some of us are running
exactly.
it.
Yeah.
I'm walking it right now.
So, but
Well, according
anyway.
to Ralph, he's squeaking in.
Yeah,
That's what.
I'll be the last one in the door, but I'm in, baby. I'm in.
Did you guys? Rick sent me a text this morning. Did you guys know that Gary DeMar put us on his podcast today?
Oh no.
Yeah, it's the round table.
Oh,
Yeah,
put that
oh,
up.
nice.
He put parts of it up.
Oh, that's
not
cool.
the
That's
part where
probably
you
smart.
screamed at him, but
Did he-
everything else.
Did he pay for that?
I sent it to him.
That was awesome, by the way.
No, the round table.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. You send him the video.
I send him Yeah, that's right. I sent
Yeah,
him-
he actually took it. He took excerpts
right.
out of Andy's recording, but
Andy
cool.
gave credit.
I thought that it made me happy when he
I'm sure
sent
he
that to
gave
me, and then
credit.
I went and looked at it, and I was like, that's kind of cool. We became part of another conversation. We started a conversation, which created conversation, and in the body of the thing, it said it was fun. He had fun times, and I was like, that must have been kind of cool, because you wouldn't expect that. You really wouldn't from the
Right,
groups.
because he's pretty serious. Some of
He's
these guys are
serious
really
and-
serious
Yeah,
about this. But yeah, I had a good time with all of them.
yeah, I did too.
Everyone was very personable, and it's hard to find a group like this where you can bring your thoughts and bare your soul, and people don't make fun of you; they just take care of you.
Yeah.
We're all this is a safe space for everybody here and for everybody out there. Even
Yeah.
the folks that yell and scream when they send messages to us.
even for those that don't believe. I mean, I want them to go down the path with us to at least see where we're coming from too, because it from a lot of judgmental. There was from the 50s, 40s, 50s, 60s in America. There were a lot of judgmental people, and then even into your childhood, Sarita, where you talk about your life and how it was affected by the church and all that. That's what we know. And I don't, you have to remember that Jesus was not an American. He was not. He was a Jewish man from a Jewish culture, in the first century. And the words that are coming from that book they're not English words. They've been translated into our language, and we're trying to read it with the modern mind, and we're missing it, What about you, Tiziana? What do you think about this place?
I feel very similarly to Sarita because I was raised fundamentalist Christian, and then totally chucked Christianity and went out and explored the whole wide world, met people like Andy, and I was like, Andy and I have been friends for over 20 years. And I
That's
remember,
crazy.
yeah.
Yeah.
Well, almost 20 years, maybe 20 years.
Yeah.
And here I meet these people who aren't Christian, who have such a better, kinder, more giving attitude towards me than
Right.
the people that I was raised with. And so my pendulum kind of wound up swinging somewhere like a little bit in the middle. I think you called me a feminist Nazi at our Christmas party.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did you like that?
I kind of did.
I know, yeah, right? I said a feminazi.
A liberal feminist Nazi. So it's like my
No,
pendulum has-
feminazi. That's different.
feminazi. That's a different thing. But so my pendulum is kind of like swung back in the middle. But I don't really have anybody to talk to about any of this stuff.
Yeah.
Like I just sit at home with my wheels spinning about things, with things that I've read or like books that I saw, or like somebody saw this. I saw this sermon, and I just will sit at home and I'm like, well, I don't know about this such and such, and I'm digging around in my own books, and I'm just sitting there doing it by myself. And so when Andy was like, no, there's actually a group of like 8 people that are also doing that, I was like, really? There's
Yeah.
other people that are doing that same thing.
Yeah.
And so it feels good. Like I'm not alone.
Yeah.
I'm not alone. And I do think that it's very important that we remember, and like Sarita was saying, we have a culture that would like to see Christianity divided in a certain kind of way along lines that aren't even biblical, have nothing to do with the President of the United States has nothing to do with the Bible at all.
Right.
Literally
Nothing. It is
Nothing.
100% irrelevant. Go ahead and give to Caesar what is Caesar's. I don't even give a rip. You know what I'm saying?
I'm giving to Caesar a lot.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, Caesar gets a lot these days. But what I'm saying is that, in the media, Christianity is portrayed in this particular way. But, so we live in this world where we like to see Christianity like to see us divided because it keeps us having conversations that are petty and not conversations that are real. And at the end of the day, all that matters is that the message of the saving power of Jesus Christ is made manifest. Like that's it. Like Billy said, we are all running the same race here. And so I think it's so enjoyable to me to be in a room full of believers and like feel a sense of like my heart feels calm in a way that I don't always get a chance to feel because I'm not really surrounded by people that even care about the kind of conversations that I want to have. And so regardless of whatever the political or social ideologies might tell us we know who we are in here. And it makes me feel good. And so I felt
We know who
very
we are because we
lonely.
know whose we are.
Exactly. And I felt a little lonely before that. So it's been really lovely to be a part of this group. And it's been nice to spend more time with Andy because I moved away and then divorced his best friend. So
Yeah.
kind of put a damper on how often we hung out.
Yeah.
So that was years ago. It was years ago.
Yeah,
Everybody's
yeah.
moved on and remarried. Everything's fine. He's happy. Everybody's happy. It's fine. But like, so it's nice. It's been really nice to be able to be around Andy again too.
Yeah. And you guys were a great band too, by the way. Albatross Party was awesome.
Yeah.
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 I will forever miss that album we never finished.
Dude, I think we
Kills
should.
me.
I don't know why we don't.
Because nobody remembers those songs.
Oh, yeah.
real?
Yes.
She's raising her
I
hands.
still play
everybody.
them.
Are you kidding me?
No, I'm not.
How
kidding
many
you.
of those?
If she did,
Oh,
her
you know what
butthole
makes
would be
us fight?
massive.
This is a different conversation.
Yeah.
And it would
Yeah.
I'd be amazed if you remember all those songs.
I wrote them all down
don't.
in my notebook.
Song for
I
Mary.
wrote it all down.
Song for Mary, one of the greatest songs ever
Oh,
written.
yeah.
Well, that's recorded.
We should put that up on the Patreon. Like the Patreon subscribers,
Yeah.
you know, like as at a certain level, you can get.
What about
like
sea shanty? Come on.
you can get. Oh yeah, you can
Hey,
get.
I've
you can
never
get
even
our
heard
album.
sea shanty.
Yeah.
I've never heard that.
Yeah. Well, we have the power to force you to listen to
Let's
it.
just clarify. Andy and I were in a band together for a really long time. We made 2 really great albums, and the third was about to be made, and then the band disbanded. So what we're talking about are songs from our first and second album, Albatross Party and Glass. You can find them on Spotify.
Give us a year. Give us
but
a year.
You might
What
want
year?
to. I mean, if that'd be a fun gift to give the Patreon listeners if
Yeah,
they wanted
sure,
to.
why not?
Like, you know,
Would that
just
be
make
okay?
a decision.
Oh, yeah.
Song
No,
for
we
Mary.
hate it when people hear our art.
Yeah.
I personally hate it.
Did you guys do one called The Wraith?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
That
Song
was
for
a
Mary,
great
and
song.
what was
Yeah.
was it Rocket Ship?
Rocket Ship.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's the closer off the
Those are-
second
yeah.
album. Yeah, that's a
That was the
guy was
second
like that
Song
too.
for Mary is by far the greatest song.
That's a great song.
I love it.
I wrote that after reading Upton Sinclair's King Cole. The main character's name is Mary, and anyway, that's what that song's about. That book,
Yeah.
King Cole.
Well, what about you, Rick? What does this mean to you? You obviously drove a long way to get up here. You obviously
Means
wanted
a
to.
lot. a lot.
Yeah, especially with these gas prices.
Yeah, I understand. Not to copy it, but I mean, everything's pretty much been said. I mean, like Tiziana, I sit at home, gears spinning all the time.
Yeah.
You know, sometimes your and my conversations will last a really long time
Yeah.
and get really deep on some bunch of different things.
Yeah, we really go down some rabbit holes, you and I.
Yes. So
Some crazy ones.
I'm being that I'm the newest kind of little tag along right now, which is absolutely awesome. You know, still kind of fanboying this thing because I didn't come from a relationship with anybody. I came from being a fan, watching or listening to the episode, getting to know everybody based on what they said on the podcast episode, and then all of a sudden, whoop, here I am.
Yeah.
And it's kind of new. And we announced it in one of the podcasts that, you know, I'm going to take over Side Studies.
Yeah.
And that's where I think really for me, it's going to break new grounds in a lot of different ways I haven't expected to do, but I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah. For me, it was just finally being able to say some things out loud, and then, you know, to think. I have a lot of people ask me questions, you know, and I put a lot of thought into this, but since I've been on this podcast, I've begun to live it more than speak it, believe it or not. I've started noticing more and more like the way that I interface with people, right? Like when I see things that back in the day I might have been afraid of, I don't have a fear of it, or I see the beauty in things I didn't see the beauty in before. I'm beginning to see, you know, I look at these things as God ordained and made. You know, I see a beautiful design in things, and I used to say it before. Now I see it and I experience it, and that's been what's so great. And then getting to meet all of these new people, and, you know, getting all these the people that write to us, and, you know, doing those fun games on, you know, like on our Facebook, we did like the Brer Warrior contest, you know, and having people, you know, trying to win beanies, and that was just fun. I enjoy it. It's been a great outlet for me, you know. It's just a great outlet because I always have a lot going on with work, you know, and so it's nice to be able to do this, and just but it's still the same simple kernel that it was whenever I first got together with Billy. It was just to read it and try to understand it on our own, you know?
Do you have a goal, like, or just day by day, podcast by podcast?
I don't think I have a goal. I think
That's awesome.
I think I just want to keep on going. You know, I think that the Bible it's a timeless book, and I think as we mature, the book changes to us, and, you know, I just want to keep on going. And I think that, I don't know, I've had people that have asked for salvation since hearing the podcast, which is very unique. It's you know, and I think about that from an eternal perspective. Like it's almost like we're in this position, and then I have a person come and I'm able to lead them to the Lord. And I'm like, this is the wildest, like, this moment wouldn't have happened if all of this other stuff hadn't have happened. Do you know?
This podcast almost in a way shows how important people are.
Yeah.
Because as the podcast grows or people join in or people leave, everybody's putting a part of their heart into it
Yeah.
and a little bit of themselves. And that's what I got the most from just listening.
Yeah. Like I also wanted to mention Mary McLeod. Remember her, our number one fan out of Fayetteville? She writes the newsletter for us, and I talk to her once a month, and it's just fun. I like how it's like a community. It's an online community, and it's all over the world. We have people in Australia that like us, and people in Texas, which is almost the same thing.
Without the kangaroos.
Yeah. Yeah.
Do you know, fun fact, I had kangaroo over the weekend.
Really?
It's
Did you go
actually
to one of
pretty
those
good.
game dinners?
No
Yep.
kidding.
Yep.
My kid's going to one Friday night.
In Greenville.
Smartbird.
Did you get it at IHOP?
Finally tells a joke.
Oh wow, that was a good one. That was better than Ralph's.
Well, I guess we probably should wrap this one up, huh?
Yep.
Yeah.
The cat's saying it's time.
Yeah. Yeah. Greg's getting ready to, he's taking a bath.
When he takes a bath, it's time to go.
Well, happy birthday to all of you guys. You
My
guys
real
are,
birthday is in a few weeks.
is it really?
Happy almost birthday.
Almost. And we are
29, huh?
Yep. And counting.
Boom, boom.
So I hope you guys enjoyed this, learning more about us, and I hope that you guys will stick with us and on to the next year. Let's keep on trucking.
Who brought cake?
I'm sorry.
Well, thanks for letting me tag along, Rick. I mean,
Yeah, man.
you make
yeah.
this happen.
Absolutely.
Yeah, thanks
it's
for
not
letting us-
free.
Absolutely.
Thanks for
Yeah,
letting
that's
us
true.
run your race with you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're inviting us along,
Yeah.
on
Yeah.
your journey.
So
And do that, like invite your friends and Terry, I want the testimony in season 3. And, I want side glance.
Her face.
And then,
Yeah.
invite people and if there's anybody that's out there that's listening that has a testimony that you want to share, then reach out to us. God is no respecter of persons. You need to remember that. In other words, somebody you might think, oh, wow, they're really something. Actually, you're really something. You really are. God saw fit to send his son for you. That's how I see you. That's the way that you need to know that. You're that important. So yeah, come on the show. Give your testimony to us, I'd love to hear it. I love it. And anyway, guys, happy birthday. Happy birthday. Happy birthday. And we will,
Purrs from Gregula.
yeah, and there's Gregula. Let's not forget about Gregula.
It's his birthday, too.
That's a great sound. So cute.
He's fighting the mic. Gotta let go, bud.
Well, we will talk to you guys again next time on the Burros of Berea.
Represent.
Peace out.
Bye, y'all.
Hey guys, this is Rick from the Burros of Berea. Do you know how much blood, sweat, and tears it takes to make a podcast? None. But that doesn't mean that it doesn't cost a lot. And so if you guys don't mind, if anybody would like to give to help us with these episodes, it would be great. We'll put out even more content. And if you go to our Patreon page, just search for the Burros of Berea, you'll get extra notes, extra episodes, and it's pretty much free. $1 gets you a lot. Thanks, guys.